Alrighty, so Ethereum has smashed through 3,000. It's on the way to 3,300. And altcoins are going parabolic, which is exactly as we predicted. Exactly as we predicted. But it seems that May is going to be like the most pivotal month for our crypto earnings. But what if I told you that I'm going to be selling in May and going away? You know, like the old adage, sell in May and go away. What if I told you that I'm going to be selling in May and going away? That's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about the trading strategy for May, the ultimate trading strategy for May, how you should be trading your crypto to maximize your gains in the month of May and to make sure that you keep your earnings. I'm Crypto Man Run, and I come to you every day, at least twice a day. We have a morning show with the sniper, and then we have the afternoon show, which is much more a fundamental show, and that happens every single day at 10 a.m. EST. If you are new to our channel, welcome. Welcome to the best crypto show in the world. We have the most loyal community. And that's not me telling that. YouTube have told us that when it comes to crypto, we have the most loyal community. They measure that by saying, take your subscribers and look at how many people actually watch your show, and you'll realize that you guys are the most loyal community in the world. And all this has happened in just 5 months. Yeah, guys, believe it or not, this station, Banter, is just fed. Can you believe this station is 5 months, man? 5 months, and we're competing with the biggest stations in the world. I mean, kudos to us. All right, so if you're new, welcome. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share our content. The reason why you're hitting the bell button is because that bell tells you when we're coming to you live, and we come to you live all the time, at least twice a day, but sometimes even way more than twice a day. Another good reason to hit the like button and the subscribe button and the bell button is because that gets your entry into the Banter Bags competition. So by now, you all know what the Banter Bags competition. I really believe that if you don't know what the Banter Bags competition is, you're not in crypto. You've been living under a rock. So I'm going to repeat it one more time, just for the benefit of those that haven't been yet. The Banter Bags is the biggest giveaway in crypto history. We took $10,000. I invested it in pre-market allocations. I secured you bags and bags and bags and bags of pre-market allocations that you ordinarily wouldn't have been able to get your hands onto. And they are now starting to mature. So that $10,000 that we invested is now becoming worth a lot more money. In fact, I want to have a look here what the $10,000 is worth at the moment. Fred, do we have a table? We had a table earlier of what that $10,000 is worth, right? Let's have a look at it. So, okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 pre-market allocations. We took the $10,000, we invested $1,000 into each pre-market allocations. Then we started to sell because that's the only way that we could keep reinvesting. Then EOS Finance gave us an extra $1,000 for free. Donkey Finance gave us $5,000 for free. And I secured you guys 2 more allocations over the weekend. One is DeFi and one is TradeStars. And then on Friday, I secured you a bag of Orao networks, which means eagle in Croatian. And that's an Oracle play. So that is what the Banter Bags looks like. When we get to 250,000 subscribers, we give the Banter Bags to the community. So, but I want to show you something. This morning, when you watched the show, we were on 207,000 subscribers. We're now on 209,845 subscribers. If you haven't subscribed, smash that subscribe button now. Let's watch this counter go up. Bronte Spark, I keep seeing you in the chat here, and you keep wanting the Banter Bags. Maybe you will win the Banter Bags. It could happen. If, of course, you're a subscriber to the channel. So a few things. One is we're going to start slowing down on the investment in the Banter Bags because it looks like we're going to be giving away these Banter Bags in less than 8 days. And by that time, we have to choose at least another 7 winners because we've only got 3 winners and we need to have 10 winners because that's what you guys decided. We also know that there's some jurisdictions that are not happy for us to give away tokens. So if we, for any reason, can't give you tokens, we will find a way to financially compensate you without any link to the token so that it's not deemed that we're selling securities and whatever your jurisdiction says, whoever that jurisdiction is. But it's time for us to stop investing because otherwise we're just going to invest and invest and invest and invest. So we're going to start investing much slower for you guys, for the community. And just to make sure that we get those winners. Guys, there's 7 days, there's going to be 7 winners. It means we have to start selecting winners. Up until now, we've selected from Twitter. We've selected some people that are just subscribers but don't watch the show live. And we have selected one live video on the show. So you never know when they can come. They can come from Sheldon's show. They can come from my show. It's in the next 7 days, 7 days, 7 winners. And it's, I don't know, for me, it's life-changing money. I mean, you're talking about, you know, before these tokens have even come to market, $500,000. So kind of like you're talking right now, value of $50,000. To me, that's the best way to make money. So guys, if you're new, smash the like, smash the subscribe. Let's watch these subscribers go up. Let's make sure we have enough likes, because that's what tells the community that we are actually here. And then we're going to get on with the show today. And on the show today, there's a lot that I want to talk to you about. There's a lot going on. Okay, we have 4,300 likes. Not bad, but you guys could do better. You could do better. Okay, so let's talk about what's on the show today. Sell in May and go away is an adage that is used in stock market trading. It is an adage that talks about how the stockbrokers sell their positions in May and then go away on summer holidays for the June, July, and August. And typically what happens is when they sell in May, the markets go down. So what if I told you that I'm also selling in May, but this time I'm selling my crypto holdings in May. I'm selling some of my crypto holdings in May. Would that shock you? I bet it would, because you guys have been watching the show and you know that I'm so bullish about altcoins and I'm so bullish about Ethereum. So why would I be selling in May? And that's what we're going to talk about later today. Then I'm also going to show you guys the world's most used DAPP. Okay, this DAPP has over 1 million users, and it does have over 1 million users. It's called Alienworlds. And if you have been watching my Twitter, and guys, you must watch my Twitter, because on my Twitter, I want to actually find this for you, because I know you guys don't believe me. You say, oh, it's easy to shill afterwards. I told you to buy TLM. I told you buy this token. I told you to buy it at 20-something cents. Now, when I look at it, it is trading at 78 cents. Could have tripled your money just by watching my Twitter. I also told you on the weekend, I said to you, buy Impermax. You need to buy Impermax or look at Impermax, because I think what they're doing is super smart. I don't know if the token valuation is expensive or cheap. That I haven't looked at in depth. I mean, I have looked at it. I have invested. But I don't know how much upside it has. But what they do is what we're going to talk about later today. So we've got a jam-packed show today, summarizing what we're going to do in May, summarizing, showing you guys 2 new gems, and of course, looking at the chart. So let's get into it right away. Fred, anything else that I've forgotten, bro? Fred's looking super confused. Let me see if there's anything on my list that we have forgotten to tell you. Okay, so if there's nothing, then
let's do this. Let's do this.
Okay, so where are we? ETH. I don't know if you guys watched our show, but I told you before the weekend that ETH would break $3,000. And earlier on today, Sheldon said, when it was at about 3,180, Sheldon said, we are looking for a little bit of a pullback because we need to have a pullback. So basically, if you look at it, things are working out.
Exactly as I have been predicting.
Exactly as we have been predicting. So let's get Sheldon back on the stream. Sheldon, my man, how are you?
I'm good, and you? Oh, I love that. That was brilliant.
Sheldon, you said earlier on, I said that Ethereum would break $3,000. It did. And then you said that it would come back, and it did. What happens next?
Well, we're looking good for now. So obviously the main pullback we had, the little pullback we had from Ethereum did come from Bitcoin's small pullback. And before we do jump into Ethereum, I think having a look at this is, you know, we had a nice falling wedge that happened in the last day. And this pullback was brilliantly, perfectly down to just come and test support. So this pullback was needed, and that was good. And Bitcoin hit the zone on where we expected the pullback to hit. So for me, that means that Ethereum right now, especially now that we're starting to get the engulfing candle. Remember, we spoke about the engulfing candle. So the thing is, we haven't hit the high for me just yet, Rand. So the bigger pullback, we'll have a bigger pullback than this a little bit later on in the month as we go on. But for now, that was good for now. I think it's still got to get to the 3,300 to the 3,600 even that I was working at earlier. That sort of level, and then a bit of a pullback, maybe back to the 3,000 or somewhere there. So Ethereum's still good on par. The fact that it's still reacting so well, Bitcoin had a decent drop now, and Bitcoin's only pulled a small little green candle. If you have a look here, Look how small that little candle is over there, and look how Ethereum reacts to it. So we can just see,
because the dominance would tell the secret here. The dominance would tell the whole story. Boom.
Boom, boom.
Sure. Wow.
So it means that the love is still there for Ethereum, and the love is still there for the alts. Even when Bitcoin is coming down and looking unhealthy, we can see that clear.
Take me to Phantom, because Phantom looked like it was going to break $1. I don't know if you saw on the weekend, Phantom climbed and climbed and climbed. It looked like it was going to break $1. It got like 85, 86 cents, depending on where you saw that. And now it's starting to do that sideways thing, which I guess is positive, right?
Not in that. The problem is if it slows down now, that's not good, because then we're starting to lose a bit of momentum. It means it's just going to come down for a bigger retracement at some point. So we actually wanted, what has Ethereum done? And I know I've showed it now, but look at Ethereum. Do you see what we actually want? We want the momentum to continue. The momentum continues, you know, we're still moving strong. As soon as we start getting to this point where we start to slow down and we start to go sideways, this is where your Bart Simpsons play out. Remember, we had the upside down ones, but you also get the top ones. So if we don't start breaking and making the higher highs or start getting above, we are going to come down to these lower sort of areas. So remember with Phantom, guys, just take some profits in these zones. We've hit 2 of the TP zones already. Leave some in for the next TP, but definitely take some profits, definitely.
Okay. Let's look at the volume on Phantom. Wow. Big weekend volume.
There we go. Yeah. Big volume. And this is the sort of, so what can happen from here? So this is good. I think a good stop loss zone is around 54 cents or so. We start going lower than that, we can easily come lower again, which we don't want. But the main thing is the volume is cooling down. So this is a positive for Phantom at the moment, is we're trailing down and the volume is trailing down, which means the volume's not backing the move that we're currently showing on the charts, which is good. You could see previously that we were rallying upwards and volume was coming in. That's what you want. So if we have volume, so right now volume's not backing that Phantom's going to drop just yet. So the dollar region is still very possible. I've just taken about 40% of profits. The rest I've left in now for that dollar region, but I've taken 40% in the zone for now, just in case there is a farming opportunity.
Okay, amazing. And then last one before we carry on with the show, Solana. I got Solana'd over the weekend.
Oh, and there we go. So we literally just had a beautiful drop, perfect support touch. So you can see how great these trend lines and accurate they actually work. We had a really strong pullback now, which is good. So Rand, definitely it's probably going to be after the show, but we're going to do it secretly. And we're going to make sure that you get your orders in by the time we break. There's a beautiful bull flag that's forming here. So the break of this flag will send us to the next levels. And that's when we get to the $60, $65 region. So it's looking really good.
Okay, so Sheldon, stay on the line, because what we're going to be talking about now is we're going to be talking about our strategy for May. Because it's the first show that we're doing in May, we want to have a strategy. We want to make sure that the guys actually have a strategy here.
Yeah, we need one.
We need a strategy, and that's really what today's show is about. And then we'll see with the strategy, we'll try and combine that with the technicals to see if we've got some entry points. How's that?
Let's do it.
Alrighty, so let's do this. Okay, so where are we? I mean, I guess if you want to have a strategy, you need to know exactly where you're at. And where we're at is, we saw Ethereum heading towards 3,300. And now the money is starting to flow. And the money is flowing out of Bitcoin and going straight into Ethereum. In fact, even the institutional investors. Fred, have you got that slide from that Korean dude? Have a look at the slide. It basically shows that the money, the institutional money, is starting to move into Ethereum, because what happened here is 400,000 Ethereum moved off exchanges. Now, who does that? People that are storing Ethereum for a long time. Institutions, whales. We saw this exact thing with Bitcoin, where they were starting to store the Bitcoin off exchanges. And that was our big telltale sign that those Bitcoin were now moving off the market forever. And the same thing is now happening with Ethereum. You're seeing it. You're seeing the institutions are coming in and they're buying Ethereum. At the same time, retail is coming in, because retail, we're now in the last phase of the crypto alt market. Not the last phase, but certainly the late phase of the crypto alt market. And what you can see is that the retail investors are coming in and they're bypassing Bitcoin completely, and they're going directly into Ethereum and into alts. So not only Ethereum, but also Ethereum and into alts. In this stage, of the altcoin cycle, everybody is going to make money. So you're not a genius. Your friends aren't geniuses. Everybody is going to make money because the market is forgiving. And even if you buy coins that you know nothing about, chances are that the tide will move up, and just riding the tide, you'll land up making money. That's exactly what happened to Fred. Fred rode the tide on Trias. Are you still holding that thing? He said he took his original investment out and he's riding his profits. Thanks for letting me know, because I aped in just on your back, and right now I'm down. But so what you're seeing is that investors, retail investors, are coming in, and they are coming in directly into Ethereum and into alt, and that's driving the price of Ethereum up, and it's making some people billionaires. In fact, look at this. I want to show you guys this. So Vitalik is finally a billionaire on his ETH holdings, and we know this because he once tweeted his address. Yeah, I've got the actual Ether scan. You can take down. So have a look at this. Vitalik once tweeted his ETH address, and you can see that in that ETH address, he's got 333,000 Ethereum, and that's worth over $1 billion. And I think coincidentally, that's not as many Ethereum as Mike Novogratz has. I think, let me check here. I may have something here on Mike Novogratz and his Ethereum. Let's have a look here. I don't have it. But the bottom line is that everyone's starting to make money. In this alt season, everybody is going to make money. The difference is who's actually going to keep their money. And whilst the tide may rise, everybody will look like they're going to cash out of it. Very few people will actually keep that money. And very few coins will still be here at the end of this altcoin cycle. So regardless of what you believe now and how promising all these shit coins look, and how much hype there is around them, and how many Twitter influencers are talking about them, the majority of those coins, even the most hyped ones, aren't going to be here in the bear market or in 5 years. And so you've got to trade pretty smart. You know, there's a guy on Twitter. His name is Secrets in Crypto. And he actually said it quite smartly. He said there's like two types of investors, or two types of investors in the cycle. The first one is the dumb money. Another one is the smart money. So I think what he's saying is there's going to be smart money and no money left. You got to make sure that if you're watching the show, that you're part of the smart money. Now, this is how he talks about the difference of the smart money and the dumb money. Freddie, do we have those slides? Okay. So dumb money trades on emotions. And I want you to spend a second looking at this chart, because I know that you guys do this. So in the beginning, it's altcoins suck. They're all a scam. Altcoins start to rise. You buy them. This altcoin is going to be huge. These stupid altcoins, there's a little bit of a dip, and they sell. And on that point, I got to tell you a story. Wait, remove the slide. I got to tell you a funny story. I was listening to Up Only TV, which is a Crypto Cobain's channel, and there was a MEXC's talk. Did you watch that MEXC's talk? Okay. So Jordan or Crypto Cobain on Up Only TV invites Udi Wertheimer and Peter McCormack, and I think it was Brad Mills, who are all Bitcoin maximalists, onto the show. And he asks Peter McCormack, why don't you trade alts? Why are you such a maximalist? And Peter McCormack says, because every time I trade alts, I lose. Turns out Cobain has been sending him the best trading advice, God-tier trading advice, including buy Solana at like $10. What does McCormack do? He buys Solana, sells it as it goes down, and then looks at it 4 weeks later, the thing's like 10x. I mean, that's exactly what happens. You know why? Because there's smart money, which trades with a strategy, and dumb money, which trades on emotion. And today what we're going to do, we've got to make sure that you guys trade with a strategy and not on emotion. So let's look at the dumb money chart, because this is the one that a lot of us are going to recognize, right? So altcoin goes up, we buy, it starts coming down, you go, this goddamn altcoin is such a scam, you sell, the altcoin shoots up and shoots up and shoots up, and then you start buying, saying, I knew this would be big. I mean, of course, I have to have this altcoin. Even my most well-respected influencers just talked about it. I'm loading up, and you buy, and you buy the top. And as it goes down, you convince yourself it's a dip, and you buy the dip. And then at the bottom, you sell, the developers quit, and then you sell, and you're basically left with nothing. The smart money, though, the chart looks very different. The smart money actually has a strategy, right? They do fundamental research. There's a pump. They sell on the pumps. They buy on the dips. As Sheldon always says, we buy on the red, we sell on the green. Why am I telling you this? Because we need to have a strategy. We need to be part of the smart money. And you can see the smart money sell Strong sell, strong sell, strong sell, strong sell. Smart money sells on the way up because smart money knows that there will be other buying opportunities. Smart money doesn't do what dumb money does and FOMO's in while the market is going up. So now, look at the market. Sheldon, give us a slide of Ethereum or Bitcoin. Sheldon, were you watching XRP? Hold on. Whoa.
Comments about XRP. So I was having a look. I saw someone said, what happened to XRP? So I wanted to go have a look.
Great. No, don't get whatever it is. Whatever it is. Sure.
No, don't worry.
Okay, guys, look at what the market is doing. Just look at what the market is doing. The market is going up. Sheldon, what do we do when the market is going up?
Yeah, sell the green, buy the red. That's the rules.
Which means that what are we not doing now?
Not
What
buying.
are we're not buying.
We're not buying, definitely.
So guys, the smart money today is actually not buying anything. The smart money has a thesis, like Secrets of Crypto said, smart money has a thesis, and smart money stays within the thesis. And the thesis says, I did my fundamental research and I'm buying things that match my fundamental research. So today what I'm saying to you is we're going to create a strategy. We're going to create a strategy for the month of May. Once we have the strategy, we're going to trade according to our thesis. We're not going to break our thesis. We're not going to get caught into these influencer shills, these Twitter shills, this hype. In fact, we're not going to get caught into anything that gets us buying in like this. We're not going to be doing that. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing. Remember, if you don't have a plan, you're going to FOMO into things. You're going to buy all the wrong things at the wrong time. If you have a plan, and a plan starts off with a thesis, then you're going to buy into the right things at the right time. So today, we are going to look at what our thesis for May is, and then we are going to make a plan, and then we are going to stick to the plan, and then we are going to find ways to measure the plan and to make sure that we can track it as we go in the month of May. You got it? Excellent. Fred, you got it, bro. No more Trias, or are we still buying Trias? He's out. Okay. No, he's like, I'm never going to let him live it down because I asked him, Fred, what does this Trias thing do? And he started to read to me from the website. I was like, dude. Okay, so let's talk about it. Okay, so what happens in May? We've got to start off with a thesis. What is our thesis for May? Our thesis for May is very simple. Let's start with Bitcoin. Bitcoin moves sideways, slightly up, slightly down, move sideways, may even break an all-time high in May. But if it does break an all-time high in May, towards the end of May, Bitcoin pulls back. That's the first thing that happens. Money flows into ETH. Lots of money flows into ETH. ETH breaks $4,000 and it breaks $4,000 pretty quickly. I may even predict, and I hate giving you price predictions with time because that's just suicide, but I'm going to do something anyway. I think within the next 10 days, ETH goes very, very, very near to the $4,000 level, because it's starting to get that acceleration, those big green candles. So I think ETH goes towards 4,000 in May, breaks 4,000 in May, especially as EIP 1559 with it, which is that deflationary Ethereum protocol, comes nearer and nearer and nearer. As ETH goes up, ETH layer 2 solutions go up with it. Matic, QuickSwap, Loopring, all these ETH layer 2 solutions, they go up as well. So you watch ETH. If ETH goes up, you ape into Matic, into Polygon, into QuickSwap, into Loopring. Then what happens? Other smart contract blockchains start to gain traction. What are the smart blockchain, smart contract blockchains that gain tractions? The ones that are working with usage, not the ones without usage, the ones with usage. So like, I don't think that May is the month for Cardano. I think June, July is the month for Cardano. You know why? Because Cardano is not working yet with smart contracts. So I don't think that Cardano runs in the month of March, but who in the month of May? Who does run? BSC. BSC hits $1,000. If ETH hits $4,000, BSC is trading at $1,100, $1,200. So I think BSC continues to catch ETH in terms of transactions, or to beat ETH, and continues to go towards Ethereum when it comes to price and market cap. And so for me, $1,000 BNB token happens in May if the market starts running. Which other blockchains run? Well, Solana. I think this is the month for Solana. I think Solana continues the run. I think that Elrond may have a run in May. Why do I say that? Because it's a smart contract blockchain that is actually working. Maybe some of the other flyers might start working. Maybe things like Zilliqa may start working. Maybe, in fact, maybe definitely Kusama. Kusama starts running in the month of May. So we have this narrative of the smart contract blockchains running with Ethereum. What else happens in May? Freddie, what else happens in May, bro? Fred says DeFi, of course. ETH runs, what happens is the TVL in DeFi gets bigger. Why does the TVL in DeFi get bigger? The total value locked. Because as ETH runs, the value goes up. And so people say, wow, DeFi is growing. And so the DeFi protocols start to run. Who's the king of all the DeFi protocols? Chainlink. Chainlink starts to run. So the narrative in this month is ETH runs, therefore DeFi runs, therefore Chainlink runs, therefore the other small oracles start to run. Band protocol, even the much smaller ones like Bird protocol start to run. What else? What else happens? Yeah, you guessed it. New listings cool down. You know why new listings cool down? Because the market is starting to be saturated with them. So in the past, there were very few of them, and there was a lot of money to go into them. But now there are hundreds and thousands. There's launchpad after launchpad after launchpad, and each launchpad is launching new tokens every single day. And investors just have too much choice, and they have a limited amount of money because that money is living in Bitcoin and Ethereum. And so the new listings start to cool down. The 100x's become 50x's. The 50x's become 20x's. The 20x's become 10x's. So it's not the best time to invest in new listings this month. This is the month where we put our money into value, put our money into DeFi, into Chainlink, into all the DeFi protocols. We'll talk about those in a second. What else? NFTs. So I think that in May, we'll start seeing NFT action again. But it's not going to be the small guys. It'll be the guys with traction. So look out for traction in the NFT market. And I think that lastly, I think that the stock market, the S&P, the Dow, cools down in May, because I think that adage of sell in May and go away, which is when the brokers and the management agents and the fund managers all sell in May and go away for the summer vacation, I think that happens. And when that happens, it cools down the entire crypto market with it. So that's my thesis. That's what happens in May, right? Right, good, amazing, cool. So if that's the thesis, if that's the outlook that we have for May, then what do we do in May? Well, we sell. No, not really. We do sell, but I'll tell you how we sell. Remember, the biggest objective for May is to accumulate more Bitcoin. What we want to do, we just want to accumulate more Bitcoin. That's all we want to do. We just want more Bitcoin. So write down the number of Bitcoin that you have now and your portfolio valuation in Bitcoin. So you got to write down two things. One is, how many actual Bitcoin do you hold? And then what is your total valuation of your portfolio in Bitcoin? And the objective for May is to get more Bitcoin if you have the same thesis about the US dollar as we do. We think that the US dollar is a shitcoin, it's a piece of shit, and we don't want to hold US dollars. So our total portfolios are in Bitcoin, and Fred's total portfolio is in Trias. Okay. He said some of it's in Trias. Okay. So that is what we're doing for May. The objective for us in May is we're going to try and make more Bitcoin. We forget about USD and we start getting more Bitcoin. Got it. Amazing. Cool. So here is what we do. Here's the strategy. We never sell ETH. Don't you dare be tempted to sell ETH until Sheldon tells you that something changes in the chart. So you never, ever sell ETH. You hold ETH in this market cycle. You have already cashed in some of your Bitcoin, and if you haven't, it's probably a good time to cash in a little bit, and you buy ETH. What else are we buying? Well, I told you, the smart contract blockchain. It's like a dead giveaway. You buy BNB because BNB is going to $1,000. What else do you buy? You buy Solana, because this is the month of Solana. Trust me, every single one of the influencers is talking about Solana. There's hackathons starting for Solana. There's SoulStarter coming to Solana. There are already 250 projects building on Solana. You buy Solana. And don't get Solana'd like I got Solana'd buying Solana. When I mean Solana'd, as you know what happened to me, I tried to buy, and I waited, and now I'm paying a lot more for those Solanas. You want to take a flyer? Go on some of the small smart contract blockchains. Go on Kusama. Go on EGLD. That's a great strategy. Buy those on the dips. Don't buy the green. Do not buy the green. Remember, every time you want to buy the green, think about that versus that. And don't be the dumb money. Hang this up on your wall. Do something with it, that every time that you think that you want to chase a pump, like I want to chase a pump now with Solana, I'm not. I'm sitting on my hands. I'm sitting on my hands like this, and I'm not going to press any buttons. That's what happens. Okay, what else? We look for layer 2 opportunities. Matic, QuickSwap, Loopring. If they take a dip like QuickSwap has taken now, guys, I told you I'm buying. At 1100, I'm buying those things. What else? What else? What else? We look for layer 2 adoption. We buy layer 2. Then we said the thesis is DeFi. We know DeFi is going to run. So what do we buy? We buy the DeFi protocols. You can buy the Wi-Fi's, you can buy the bigger ones, Aave, Synthetics, or you can go with the smaller ones. I'm looking at some smaller ones. You know I do. So what am I buying? I'm buying a little bit of Pickle at about $16. I saw that Harvest Finance is a bit cheap. Probably going to buy it. The biggest and the cheapest one for me is Vespa. I've told you guys this before. Vespa has the smallest market cap relative to a total value locked in the market. So for you, for me, if you think that DeFi is going to explode, like I think that DeFi is going to explode, then what do you do? What do you do? Oh, Luna, exactly. You buy Luna, you buy Luna, you buy Luna. Okay, what else? The oracles. Go, if you think that DeFi is going to have a DeFi month, buy Chainlink, buy Band Protocol, buy Bird if you want a small play. I'm a big fan of Bird because of their trust score and their integrity and the fact that it's such a small cap with such a small supply. I'm buying that one. Another thing that you can do, because we know that the small cap alts are completely out of favor, what do? We start buying the small cap alts. And specifically, look for the ones that have had token releases and buy the ones that have had token releases because you know everybody is dumping. This weekend, there were 2 of those. There was ShopX. I keep saying to you guys, look for the token release. There was a token release. You can buy ShopX because they just had a token release. AOS had a token release. All these small caps that have had token releases, because we know that crypto works in a cycle. I want to show you the cycle. Let me show you the cycle. It's not a big secret. Even though Secrets of Crypto is the guy that says it. And here is the cycle. It's not the first time you've seen the cycle. Okay, money goes from Bitcoin into Ethereum. Then money goes from Ethereum into large cap alts. That's exactly where we are. We went from Bitcoin to Ethereum. We went from Ethereum to large caps. What happens next? Full-blown alt season. And tomorrow I'm actually going to teach you how to read the market cycle. Tomorrow is the market cycle day. Hey, Freddie? Yeah, tomorrow we'll do a full market cycle analysis, and I'll teach you guys exactly how to trade the market cycle. In fact,
Exactly as I have been predicting.
Exactly as I've been predicting. Guys, the reason why I say I'm going to sell in May and go away is because May is the month that I'm going to take profits on all my positions. Everything that is not Bitcoin, Ethereum, DOT, Cardano, and Polkadot, I don't care how much I like them. I don't care how amazing the team is. I don't care about any of that. I am taking profits. There are green candles in the markets, and green candles are here for taking profits. Don't let the market convince you that these small altcoins are going to be here in 5 years. I'm reminding you, 95% of all the tokens that you have here today are not going to be here in 5 years. And if a bear market comes, and it can come very, very, very quickly, then these altcoins are going to go to close to zero. It happened before, it happened in 2017, and it can quite easily happen again. So no matter how much you think that these small altcoins are performing and you're positive on them, when the green candle comes, you take your profits. I want to remind you of one more thing. Remember, when Bitcoin went down by 10 or 15%, everybody, Fred, who's Bronte Spark? For months, she comments every day for months. Multiple times a day. Bronte Spark, you win the banter bags. That's just how it's going to be. So she's the next winner in the banter bags. You guys have been complaining that I haven't had any females winning the banter bags. So Bronte Spark, I mean, I guess you're a female because you have a female picture. Bronte Spark is the winner of the banter bags. That's our 4th winner in the banter bags. And we still have 6 winners. And we have 210,500 subscribers. So, yeah, you can still win the banter bags, guys. You can still win the banter bags. Bronte Sparks winning the banter bags. Okay. So, guys, as I said to you, remember, when that bear market comes, when there's a 10% correction in Bitcoin, everybody's going to turn and change their view on alt. And all these green candles are going to turn into big red candles. So make sure that in May, you take profits. Every single time there's a green candle, you skim a little bit off the top and you put it into Bitcoin. And at the end of May, we make sure that we have more Bitcoin than we have today. That's the objective for May. That's all we're going to focus on for May. And I'm going to work with Sheldon and you guys, okay, to make sure that in May, we have more Bitcoin than we started with. How do we do it? You follow the narratives that I gave you. I'm not going to repeat them. If you want to, you can replay this on YouTube. And you do what I told you. And every time there's a green candle, except on Ethereum, Chainlink, DOT, and Cardano, you take profits. Got it? And at the end of May, you'll have more Bitcoin than when you started. And I don't care what Bitcoin trades towards the US dollar, because that US dollar is a piece of shitcoin. And I don't want to have any money in piece of shitcoins. I've decided to dump all my shitcoins, I told you. So that's what we're going to do in May. And that's how you're going to have more Bitcoin in May. And tomorrow, I'm actually going to teach you how to read the market cycle. Tomorrow is all about the market cycle. Because by the end of tomorrow, you'll be geniuses. You'll know how to read the market cycle. You've now got a thesis for May. And you combine market cycle plus thesis, and you become a genius and you become rich. And then we retire in 250 days. And we have a massive party. That's what we said. We're going to have a massive party. Right, Freddie? Cool. Fred, you got it. Amazing. So I do want you guys to look at 2 coins that I mentioned to you guys on my Twitter this weekend. I mentioned 2 tokens in the last week, and both of them have doubled and tripled and quadrupled. In fact, I don't even know what the price is. The first coin was Alienworlds, and the second coin was Impermax. Now, they are altcoins. They are much riskier. In fact, one of them is very, 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 very risky, but may give you massive upside. The other one is, I think, less risky, but may also give you amazing, amazing upside. And the reason why I say it's less risky is because I didn't know about this, but Fred told me that it is the most adopted DAPP in the world. It's the most adopted crypto application in the entire world, more than Uniswap, more than SushiSwap, more than anything you look at. This one application has over 1 million users. Now, hold on. I know applications, they say, oh, we got over 1 million users. So I checked the stats myself, and I want to show them to you before I actually bring in the founder of this DAPP. This is the stats for Alienworld. You can see that in the last 30 days, they had 1.27 million users with over 201 million transactions. And they run this, of course, on the Wax blockchain, I guess, because I don't think that you could do this on Ethereum, specifically in a game. And before we bring Sarah into the conversation, I want to show you guys how amazing this game is. In fact, Freddie, have you got that like amazing, exactly.
Pandemics raged across the planet. Humankind desperately searched for an escape. A ray of hope came from the Federation, the world's most advanced Bitcoin mining community. Engineers analyzing the algorithms discovered patterns of hidden messages sent from an unknown civilization far from their known universe. Once deciphered, these messages formed a map leading them to a wormhole and the chance of salvation. A brave crew of volunteers ventured into the wormhole and were catapulted to a distant metaverse. Within this interstellar network, the pioneers discovered exoplanets that were inhabitable and began to build a new civilization. The pioneers strove to build a new fair economy. Everything was tokenized, from the tools and weapons they forged to the land they claimed and their avatars that walked it. More explorers arrived at the frontier to seek their fortunes in Trillium. Some became landlords, renting space for construction projects and entrepreneurs. Others extracted Trillium from deep within the mines. The bravest adventurers competed in quests for hidden treasures. The Federation sent supplies to support their heroes. And today, 6 planets stand at the frontier of the new Federation of Alien Worlds. Untold riches are waiting in the prospering metaverse, where real and virtual worlds collide. How will you make your fortune?
Holy moly. Okay, like I want to Sarah, welcome. I need to ask you a question. How is there a DAPP that has 1 million users in crypto, that has 250 million transactions a month, and most people don't know about it?
I don't know about most people not knowing about it. I mean, that's something that we're, that's why I'm here and that's what we're doing. I think, the word is kind of spreading. How do we have a DAPP that's as used as that? It kind of comes back to what you were talking about earlier around kind of layer 1, layer 2 construction. So, I think that some of the games that were developed a couple of years ago and that had to locate a lot of what they were trying to do on Ethereum have ended up, it's difficult to transact in an economical way and in a timely way on Ethereum. Our token Trillium is on Ethereum. It's also on the Binance Smart Chain, but our gaming logic and the NFTs themselves so far are on Wax. And what that means, Wax is a delegated proof of stake chain. It has free CPU for users up to a certain point. So what that means is that people don't have to pay gas fees. So that's really, and it's very, very easy for people to start playing. So you don't have to have any cryptocurrency in a wallet like you do with many other kind of Ethereum-based applications. With us, you go to the Wax Cloud wallet, you create a login really simply, you come onto our game interface and you can start playing and receiving NFTs within a couple of minutes. So yeah, I think the construction of it is different, and possibly also our history has led to a slightly different profile of community being interested as well, which has led to some rapid adoption.
So, I mean, if I were to summarize it, basically what it is, it's a game that is based around the crypto world, so to speak. And it's a game where everything is NFTs. And no matter what you want to do is you want to get NFTs. And it's all powered by this Trillium token, which is the TLM token, which is the native token inside the Alienworlds game. Am I getting it right?
Yeah, I mean, that's certainly one way of putting it. I think that the way that we always conceived of it was a metaverse. And what that means is, I mean, people use that word to describe lots of things, but certainly one of the features of a metaverse is that it's a platform. It's some kind of an abstraction of reality in which lots of different things can be represented. And so when we speak about the game, we certainly do have a game that's out there right now, which is the mining functionality. We're going to be releasing fighting functionality and other functionality over time, which I guess you could think of each as being a game. But then together, along with some planetary politics, we think of that all as being a metaverse. And in a way, we don't actually know where that's going to go, because a lot of the power and certainly a lot of the Trillium is not going to reside with any of me or my other 2 co-founders who founded the game, or any of the people who've been working on the project so far. Most of the Trillium and most of the power is actually going to be down at the level of what we call planets, each of which is a DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization. And so, although yes, what you said is kind of true, it's a game, it's also something that's growing over time. It's a platform where actually most of the economic stake, power, reward lies in the hands of users.
So I want to show the viewers an example of a DAO like this. And I think the BNB one is a great one, the Binance one, the Planet Binance. That's effectively what you're saying, is that the Planet Binance is its own DAO, that there's no centralization in it whatsoever, and that the government, the decentralized organization, actually makes decisions around what can and can't happen on that planet, right?
Yeah, so that's actually true for our 6 existing planets. Planet Binance is constituted a little bit differently because the way that BSC works as a chain is a little bit different. But yes, all of the other planets, the 6 planets, are exactly as you say. They're DAOs. We are in the process of opening up governance on the DAOs. So we actually have candidates who have registered to become counselors on each of the 6 planets. We will be having an election period opening shortly, and that will run for a period of time, during which anybody who has staked Trillium to a planet and has therefore received the token of the planet in return for their staked Trillium will be able to vote on that planet for the elections. And then, yes, the counselors of each planet will have a lot of autonomy about what happens on that planet.
Okay, how many people I mean, you're saying 1 million people have played this game. When did this game launch? When did this game start that 1 million people have heard about it and have started playing it?
So we first started development of it kind of about 18 months ago. We first created Trillium about a year ago. The first Trillium transaction was just over a year ago. We launched the game economy at the end of December. So that was when Trillium began to flow to these 6 planets, each of which will be a full DAO. And that's when rewards started to flow to the game itself has been going since the end of December.
And today you've got over 1 million addresses that use the game every month, and it generates over 250 million transactions.
Yes, I mean, it's the rate of growth has been just incredibly rapid, and we're so happy to see that. And I think we've been testing the bounds technically, even of what the chain that we're on can do, and the various other structures like kind of APIs in the wallet and stuff can do. But that's a nice problem to have. And I think that the existing functionality that people are using is the mining game, where you use NFTs and you select tools and land NFTs to then mine for Trillium and other NFTs. That's actually proof of work mining. So I think that it's really, I can see why that's gained such traction in the imagination of people, because how hard is it to become a proof of work Bitcoin miner? Pretty hard, right? But you can still mine on the blockchain and see that those mining transactions are happening. You can go to a block explorer and see when you have actually mined Trillium and the NFTs. And I think that's really captivating for people. That's our first functionality, the mining game. And as I mentioned, we're going to have further ways that Trillium gets used and circulated through the metaverse. But yeah, it's caught people's imagination, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. So to get Trillium, I mean, I can either buy Trillium on Binance, which is the ticker TLM, and that's the one that I told people to buy last week on my Twitter, or I can mine it. How else can I get Trillium?
Yeah, so currently you would acquire it by mining, and in time the planets themselves will have a treasury of Trillium, and they can allocate that through their governance structures. So there can be a vote of the counselors on the planets to fund certain projects or to pay out certain users and so on. So in time, the planets themselves will also be a way of Trillium disseminating through the metaverse. We also will have a Galactic Hubs Fund, which is where Trillium is being used to fund development. So that's another kind of place that Trillium will come into the metaverse. But for now, it's the mining game, and then subsequently also the fighting game and quests will be a way that people can also get Trillium through their gameplay.
Listen, it's absolutely incredible. The graphics are amazing. I mean, it just seems like such a cool game to play. And I really think that this is definitely one for our viewers to watch.
I should mention that the graphics that you're seeing are the trailer. What's actually been quite sweet about it so far is that the game UI that we have out right now, I mean, I think it's great, and it's been holding up really well. We're in the process of redesigning that and a kind of whole overhaul of our UI, so that then when we introduce the fighting game and quests, it can kind of all be in one cohesive UI. So yes, we certainly are getting there in terms of the look and feel. I think for now, it possibly still looks a little bit homemade. Sometimes it's also, there are still some technical issues that happen, especially because we're growing that quickly. But actually, I've heard feedback that some people find that kind of part of the charm, and it's part of getting in on something right at the very beginning. You can interact with the developers and with the team itself, and we're really the people that have created it.
Amazing. Listen, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's amazing. I must say, as you know, I've been a holder of TLM for a while. My community knows that as well. I'm a big supporter of the community. So we'll definitely stay in touch and keep us updated when new things are happening.
Cool. Thanks, Jan. Nice to be here.
Thank you very much. Guys, what do you think? I mean, it looks like absolute fun. And that TLM token now trading at, I think, like 70. Let's have a look here. What is TLM trading at? I told you guys at 30 cents to buy it. I think I'm still telling you to look at it. Let's have a look here. It is trading at 78 cents. Okay, let's keep an eye on that one. Another token, which I told you guys that I wanted you guys to look at, and then if we have some time, I'm going to bring Sheldon on to do some charts here today. But I wanted to show you guys this token over here. Now, I called it for you guys on the weekend. I said, look, I just clicked as to what these guys do, and I think it's super smart. It's super risky, just to be clear. It's super risky, but what they are doing, if they get this right, is super, super, super smart. And the token is called Impermax. What does Impermax actually do? Well, this is where you need to listen up. It's a little bit technical, but you need to listen up. So if you understand how Uniswap and SushiSwap and all these AMM, automatic market maker DEXs work, you'll understand that there are liquidity providers, people who stake tokens to provide liquidity so that when you want to trade, there's an actual counterparty, right? So you've heard of people yield mining or yield farming, and what they do is they provide liquidity for exchanges, for people on these Uniswaps or these decentralized exchanges. So a decentralized exchange, automatic market maker, means that there's always someone who's willing to buy or sell from you. And that's because there's a liquidity pool which allows people to trade. Now, the people that provide the liquidity get a return, and that's yield farming. That's how you get yield. Now, the problem is that when you provide liquidity for an exchange, that money is locked. So if you provide liquidity for an exchange in the form of ETH and another token, that money is locked. And you earn your return on that money, but that money is locked and it's gone and it's out of circulation up until now. And this is where, for me, it got super interesting. What Impermax allows you to do is it allows you to provide liquidity and then borrow against this liquidity that you've provided. So instead of the money sitting there forever and ever and ever while you're earning your yield, you can now borrow against it because that is an asset. And then once you've borrowed against that, they allow you to reinvest it back into the market. So what it means is it allows you to provide liquidity, borrow against the liquidity that you provided, and then use the proceeds to provide more liquidity. So you're earning a leveraged return on your liquidity tokens. Why am I so excited about this? Because there is a lot of liquidity that is locked up in DeFi. Tons of liquidity. It's locked up there, and most of the time it's not actually used because you don't always need all the liquidity. And especially when Uniswap v3 comes on. When Uniswap v3 comes on, which is now, it's like any day now in May, right? 5th of May, so that's like Wednesday. So when Uniswap v3 comes, the big feature of Uniswap v3 is that they have this yield, this curve of liquidity, and you can choose to provide liquidity anywhere you want in the curve, right? And so they're making the capital more efficient. Now, this is exactly what this protocol does. It makes the capital that is locked up in LPs so efficient. So I must say, it's a brand new project. And as you can see, it's providing super high yields. I mean, if you just provide USD or USDT, you can get insane APYs for providing these tokens right now. I wouldn't suggest that you guys go and leverage it. I think you can just go into the lending pool and actually lend money into the pool. But what I'm saying to you guys is this project is freeing more liquidity into the market. And all the dead liquidity, which is locked up in yield pools, it is making the market much more capital efficient. And for me, any project that is taking this huge amount of money that is locked in DeFi and in decentralized exchanges and providing it for liquidity is something to look at. But I'm saying to you guys again, as much as I love this project, and I love it, I really do. I think that this project is super smart. It's a brand new project. It must have come to market in the last 2 weeks or 3 weeks. And I am an investor in this project. I have tokens in this project. I told you guys to buy into this project as well. I think it's very smart. I think what you need to look at is how much money these guys have in total value locked. And they advertise that quite freely on their website. So if you look at their website, if you look at Impermax, it tells you how much money is supplied and how much money is being borrowed. And if you see that this number starts going up, then there's adoption of this protocol. And if there is adoption of this protocol, then this is definitely one to buy. I think that anything that can make this market more capital efficient, we buy it. And that's why I'm quite bullish on this. We saw what the Uniswap v3 announcement did to Uniswap. And the reason why it did that is because that is making locked capital much more efficient. And it is making capital that is locked and not being used, it's removing it from the ecosystem. That's exactly why I like this. So have a look at it. I'm not telling you to ape in. I'm telling you it is very high risk. It's a brand new project. But if you are taking a very small percentage, tiny percentage of your portfolio and putting it into something, maybe this is a good buy, but maybe wait for a pullback, because I probably shouldn't have told you guys on Twitter, because you guys all aped into it. All right, let's get Sheldon on and see if Sheldon's looking at anything else other than XRP. What are you watching here, man?
Zol. I see Zol's taken off in the last hour or two. So I see it's shot up.
Isn't that what you said on your show earlier?
Yeah, we were in the buy zone this morning, yeah. So that has at least shot up beautifully, and we've now broken out that great resistance. So Zol
Exactly as I have been predicting.
Yeah, it's going good. It's going good. What I'm also starting to learn, like I've had a lot of guys also ask me, what about all the small caps? There's not a lot of small caps. The problem with the small caps right now is it's still Bitcoin uncharted territory right now, and if Bitcoin does have a pullback at any point, the small caps are really going to get hurt. So I'm putting decent money in small caps, but I think the larger caps is a lot safer of the ways to be trading this market. I don't know if you got anything to add there, and on that, do you think it's safe for the small caps? Because I can pop them out. I've been seeing a lot of love on it, but
I think
the pullbacks are big.
I think what you do is you wait for the dips and you put your money into the ones that get slaughtered. And then you wait, because we know the market cycle. We know the market cycle. The market cycle is the market cycle is the market cycle. I think the main thing for May is accumulate more Bitcoin. Okay. If you don't walk away in May with more Bitcoin, then we're all a bunch of assholes. It's as simple as that. We just accumulate more money in May. That is all we do. Got it? Got it. Sheldon, we'll see you tomorrow. Guys, remember, tomorrow we're going to talk about market cycles. We're going to teach you how to read the market cycles. We're going to teach you where you are in this market cycle. We're going to teach you where this market cycle is going. And then by the end of tomorrow, you combine tomorrow with today's strategy plus cycle, understanding cycle. And then basically you are a crypto genius and you're on your way to retirement. What else, Fred? Anything else for tomorrow? No. Bronte's the winner, right? Bronte Sparks. How are you feeling? Tell me in the comments. Fred, look out for a comment. Bring that comment out on the screen. How are you feeling? You've won yourself the banter bags. Hopefully Bronte Sparks is not American. No, it would be terrible if Bronte Sparks was American. I finally picked like a female fan who's on here every day and comments and doesn't miss a show. So Bronte, well done. You are the fourth winner in the banter bags. Hopefully we'll get you on tomorrow. Fred, is she anywhere to be seen? Maybe she had a heart attack. No, you can have a heart attack. You wouldn't. Oh, there she is. Woohoo, she says. All right, so woohoo, we'll see you tomorrow. You'll be on the show tomorrow. You'll tell everyone how amazing you're feeling. Fred says we forgot to talk about Ann Marshall. Yes, and Ann Marshall is one of our ones. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Ann Marshall, we love Ann Marshall. I want to show you why I want to talk about Ann Marshall tomorrow. It's quite important. DeFi, but again, speculative. Good, but speculative. Okay, I hope I don't get a copyright strike from YouTube. Guys, I will see you again tomorrow, same time, same place. 2 shows, one at 10 a.m. EST and one 4 hours before that, so 6 a.m. EST. Until then, if you are trading, trade well. See you tomorrow.
Crypto Banter is a social podcast for entertainment purposes only. All opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, and callers should not be construed as financial advice. Views expressed by guests and hosts do not reflect the views of the station. Listeners are encouraged to do their own research.